Alright, so here is the Zapotec tomato. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but Zapotec tomato. And unfortunately, it got wiped out by the rain. This one kind of dropped, and it split a little bit from the water, and now the insects are eating it. It also got a little bit of, I don't know what kind of insect damage, and that got moldy. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to taste test that one. But it looks like this one here, I'm going to pick off before the insects make their way with it. And we're going to taste test this one, but I do have some more coming up here. I do got a few more. A nice one in the back over there. Hopefully that one will get nice and big, and by the time I do the review on this, it'll probably be one of those tomatoes. I don't think I'll be able to taste test this. I mean, if I can, I'll try to cut it open and taste test it. If not, we'll have to wait for this one to turn red inside, because I can't leave it out here. The insects and the rain is just wiping me out completely all the way across the board this year. So just wanted to show it to you on a plant. Unfortunately, the plant really took a beating this year, and as you could see, it might come back. I may cut this plant down halfway and let the new shoots come up and get all the blight off it, and then maybe I'll get a second crop out of it. It's hard to say what I'm going to do this year. So anyways, I'll see you at the bench. Alright, so this is a tomato review on the Zapotec tomato. Now, a lot of the tomato videos I was doing this year, I was trying to include the plant with the review, and most of my tomatoes are getting wiped out, my plants, so I can't really review a lot of the plants in my tomato videos this year as much as I wanted to. They just got wiped out, so that'll have to be for next year. But I tried to do as many as I could with the plants, and I'm not sure if this video, as I'm shooting this now, I don't know if I have video footage of me giving you a quick look at the plant before I actually do the review on the tomato. So sorry about that, and next year we'll give it a go. Hopefully we won't get wiped out by late blight. So anyway, this is the Zapotec tomato. It's a fluted tomato, or also known as an ugly tomato. A lot of people refer to this type of variety of tomato as an ugly tomato, but I think it's quite beautiful. So there's not much I could say about it. The origins, I'll leave all that information in the description below. You can look at that information down below. And basically, we're going to do a bricks test on it right now. So I believe it is a Lycopersicum, and we'll cut off a piece like that because I know it's going to have a lot of chambers on it. And then I'll cut it this way for you guys, because I know you'll want to see it sliced this way. That's what it looks like. And we'll talk a little bit about the plant and the tomato. Let's get that bricks out of the way. It's about a 5. A little bit over a 5, very, very slightly, but about basically a 5. So it's not going to be a very sweet tomato. So the tomato wasn't that bad of a producer. I probably gotten maybe about 8 or 9. Several of them got late blight on the tomatoes, so I tossed them. The plant did get knocked over, so a couple fell off the plant. So that's an unfortunate thing. I don't know if this tomato was one of the ones that got knocked off. This may have been a tomato that got knocked off, and I let it ripen on my table here for, I don't know, 3 weeks or something like that. So it's been off the plant for a while, and it finally got to ripening, so I'm now doing a review on it. But the sweetness might be low due to the fact that it got taken off the plant early while it was green. So it is what it is. But in general, this plant wasn't giving me a crazy production in fruits this year. I mean, 8 is good. I did do okay with that. And some of them are pretty good size. I'd say I've gotten tomatoes on there now that are sitting on there for the last month waiting for them to ripen. And some of them look like they might be close to a pound. So they're pretty big. They all basically have the same shape as you see here. And as far as what it tastes like, I don't know. Let's give it a taste test and find that out. Well, the skins are really tough on it. The insides are very soft. You're not doing much chewing. As soon as you put it in your mouth and you squeeze your tongue with it against the roof of your mouth, the whole inside turns into basically mush, and the skin is there, and it's pretty tough. You're going to spit the skins out on this one. Now, despite the fact that it has a low sugar content in it, despite that fact, it still tastes pretty good. I do like the flavor of the tomato. The tomato has a nice type of, how should I say, it would have a flavor that would go really good in sauce, basically. It'd be a great sauce tomato, but it's lower in the sugar. So if you are making a sauce, yeah, you could add a little bit of sugar to that if you want. Very small amount, half a teaspoon to a pot of sugar if you're making enough of these. And you won't notice the sugar in there, but it'll balance out that tardiness in it. So if you really want to. I like my sauces to be kind of tangy when I make sauces, so I don't really care for the sugar in sauces. So in my opinion, this would make a great sauce. Again, you could probably use it for slicing and putting it on hamburgers and stuff, but again, keep in mind that it's not a really sweet tomato, at least this year it wasn't. So we'll grow it again next year and see if we can get the sugar content up on this tomato. I guess because of all the rain that we had, it possibly washed out any of the minerals in there that would help bring that sweetness up. So it's an unfortunate thing that happened, but it is what it is, I was never expecting to get 30 inches of rain in 2 months. So it happens, and when it does, you got to just deal with it. But I did have 2 of these tomatoes. I think one of them split open on its own, like the skin peeled back on it, and then a couple of fruit flies were getting in there. So I once you see that, I immediately cut it open, and I believe I took the seeds out of it. Yes, I did. I took out the seeds, and I have it right here. And unfortunately, that was a vine ripened one too, and I wanted to do a taste test on it, but I don't know. It split on its own while it was off the vine, and if it does that and you don't know it, and the fruit flies get in there, then you got a good chance you might start getting maggots, and that can happen literally overnight. As soon as you get a crack, you see fruit flies, don't eat it because it's full of maggots or maggot eggs. So that's why I didn't review that one. But this one finally ripened up, and so I mean, it's a great tomato. I like just the look of it. If you can get a good harvest out of it, it'll look really great presentation on a table if you've got guests coming over and you want to put a few of those out. You got some lettuce, you're serving salad to your guests. I think that would really look nice. It's very appetizing, very eye appealing. It's a great showpiece in my opinion. Sweetness was probably about a 22% on the sweetness. Tangy was about 30 to 35. It was kind of on the high side. Very nice tomato flavor that came forth from behind it. Not the best, but it was very nice tomato flavor. We're gonna try to build this one up next year with better soil inside of an polytunnel, hopefully, so we don't get the rain anymore, and we can get the true effect of the tomato. Good soil, good tomato. Outside of that, there's not much more I can say about it. If I get enough seeds off it this year, I will offer a limited amount on my website because I don't have a whole lot of seeds here to offer. So I will offer limited amounts of this tomato. And we'll see what happens. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.